You can't call off La Llorona. Not once she's been summoned. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Riverdale, Season 6, Episode 2, Ghost Stories. Ooh. Just that
Just the
for
sound
an hour.
of raining.
I mean, I have notes, but I kind of am enjoying this. This isn't the worst that we've seen.
I had so much more fun this week, and I think it's because I get it now. These 5 episodes, I get it. I can't imagine these are going to be long-lasting stakes. Like, if Toni Topaz is legitimately La Llorona now, I don't know what I'll do. But it's at least the most creative way they've written off a woman of color, so I guess I'll take it.
Well, plus there was a moment where when the showdown with La Llorona happened, they were putting so much mustard on it.
She was specifically.
Every single one of them, well, except for Madelaine Petsch was the only one who's like, I'm just gonna
say it like a white person.
But the showdown with La Llorona, I was sort of like, this is something I've never, like, it was a location we'd never seen before.
Well, it was that lake from Once Upon a Time, but
well,
it was the other side of that lake.
It's the different one.
For Once Upon a Time, from the Vampire Diaries.
But no, I don't know. It kind of, I liked La Llorona. I thought it was Polly.
I thought it was Polly too.
I thought the way she prefaced it.
Well, also Dagwood said Mommy's trying to take Juniper, and so I thought it was going to be Polly the whole time too, and then it wasn't. And
I thought I got excited then because we had, for considering how much we never liked Polly.
Yeah,
we had real issues with how they handled her.
Yeah, it was not enough closure.
And so I was like, oh, interesting. And that's where I also, at that point, I still thought this was going to be an actual narrative.
Yeah.
And where it does appear that the stakes remain, because like Archie was gone.
Yeah.
No one, well, Cheryl thanked him. Cheryl like made a to-do about Archie, but it was like Betty, nonplussed.
Yeah,
like,
okay. But there comes my other problem, is because Betty really was shoehorned into this La Llorona storyline in a way that if it had been Polly who was trying to take a baby so she could have her kids again, and then Betty was the one that had to have the emotional resonance with her, then any of it would make any sense for Betty, because Betty apparently lost the baby with Archie, so then all of this Archie stuff is kind of moot.
Mm-hmm.
So Archie's dead now for no reason except for we have syrup again.
Which we do.
I also think Cheryl doesn't know what the word infused means, because
we've been through this before.
I think she just dumped syrup into brandy.
No, well, because we had this issue with the maple rum.
Yeah.
And she did eventually break it down that they were making rum with the syrup. They weren't just pouring it into. Yeah. But
how has she had enough time to distill this new maple syrup? There's no way.
I took issue with the captions referring to Nana Rose as old woman. I was like,
again, it's the type of thing where it's like, I think the reason that the captions sometimes do that is because the La Llorona was speaking through Nana Rose, and so it was just like old woman.
Yeah, but
voice.
but it was a young girl playing her. Well, regardless.
I don't know.
So, anyways, we are fans of Riverdale. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not very good, but I prefer when they actually craft out story arcs versus just taking on faith that we're gonna care, because it's like, we care about baby Archie or Anthony in that, in theory, we care about baby's well-being, and we also care about Toni and Fangs.
Yeah.
But there was something to, like, La Llorona's gonna get baby Anthony in this clearly fake alternate reality that just, it left the stakes very muted for me. I was sort of like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
although we apparently did just run through all of the serpents except for Fangs. They were all, like, down on the floor of the White Worm.
Yeah.
So
What was the opening? Why did they bring up Alexandra Cabot?
It was like a Romeo and Juliet thing. Like a serpent fell in love with a ghoulie. And that's what caused
I thought that's what we were watching. And so when we were like 10 minutes in, I was like, where's Alexandra?
Yeah.
Because I thought Alexandra was the one, because I was kind of sitting to the side.
Sure.
So I thought because you were like, what a weird, of all the things to have kept from Katie Keene, why that's the thing that we kept is very strange.
Where's that fucking piece that played K.O. Kelly? Come on.
Yeah. Or
even Piper, or wasn't that her name? The crazy scammy one?
Oh, what Pepper?
Pepper.
That was the show that aired.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There were moments where, and it was similarly with Tabitha and Jughead, where again it's like, I mean, okay. So if you watch our coverage, you know I have issues with Jughead. For me, he's sort of the epitome of it thinks it's people. I just, there's something about his whole thing that I'm just like, I can't.
He also wouldn't hang up those fucking pictures.
Well, but they didn't, again, with I like crazy Riverdale. I don't like bad writing Riverdale. They didn't even give us a reason to be on his side or her side. Like, they didn't give us like I forgot, or like I had a reason to do it tomorrow because the rain would stop. I don't know. Yeah. They gave us no reason other than he just didn't do it.
Well, also then they were haunted by these people.
Is that what it was supposed to be? He wasn't doing it because of that didn't land for me. And also it just sort of, what it effectively did was make me dislike Tabitha, which so far she's had a pretty good track record.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I now dislike her, but
it was tough in this episode. It was very naggy. It was like a very nagging wife kind of thing where it's like, well, I asked you to do this and I asked you to do that, and you took the cap off the toothpaste. Have separate toothpaste from your spouse, you guys. Separate toothpaste. That kind of shit is what saves your marriage.
Or just choose your battles. Put it back on.
Or choose your battles. But also, you use the same... like, your taste, your mouth taste is that similar that you can use the same toothpaste? I don't understand.
We are...
I hate my husband's toothpaste.
I was going to say, I am on record. We have record that I used both the vanilla toothpaste and the citrus toothpaste.
He sure did.
And for a period of time, the baking soda toothpaste. So...
My mom liked cinnamon toothpaste. Yeah.
But regardless, so it just sort of, it was very convenient writing. It wasn't very fulfilling writing.
So I would say that about all three, especially given the fact that, as I mentioned, all three plots, especially given the fact that I mentioned that I think it would have been narratively a lot more satisfying if Betty had to be the one to talk down Polly as La Llorona. Keep it La Llorona, or make it even just like the Wailing Woman or whatever, you know? I think that would have been so much more narratively satisfying, which then can bring us to the Archie and Veronica, or Reggie and Veronica storyline, which I don't understand what they're doing, because they
are on a different show.
They are 100% on a different show, and they have also made Reggie and Veronica boring in a way that they, in my opinion, have never been before. There has always been a spark of something extra with the two of them, and it's just like he's Archie now. And then all of a sudden, look, I know that relationships with parents are difficult and strained, and especially when there's abuse and everything, but like, he was...
Oh, that's a quarter-baked... Hey, Reggie and his dad is a quarter-baked plot.
A way quarter-baked plot, and also he was beating him up until like 3 months ago as an adult man. I just don't know. I mean, I understand being like, well, he's gone, and I have complicated feelings, but he like fell into a depression hole. It was bonkers to me.
Well, I also think it was aided by
the car, the haunted car.
Is the take for, okay, so 17th of all, I also don't love Veronica as a character, but I do like Camila Mendes, and I wanted to just say superficially how gorgeous she was this entire episode.
God.
Is it just that her hair's longer? Is that the thing that was preventing me? Was it just not the right...
Not the right length? Well, her hair is longer, and it works, but she's also wearing different outfits.
The pink and the green was really...
It was like a pink sort of... Not super tight, but like a pink fitted mini skirt, and then like an olive-ish green sweater. I mean, it was unbelievable. But also, she was also like... It was so much emotional whiplash in that one scene. where she has destroyed this
dug
car.
her key into the side.
Right. Totally destroyed this car, smashed the windshield, ripped up the, like, you know, the hood and
well,
everything.
and then lectured him, which is sort of like...
About having sex with a teacher. Where was this outrage?
Bold stance for Riverdale to take in season 6.
Where was this outrage on Veronica when Archie was plowing his English teacher for half of season 1?
But I like that she thinks that he's the victim of a sex crime, and her way of handling it was abusing him, was taking it out on his, like, was not like, let's go see Toni's therapist.
Yeah. And then,
furthermore, but what was the note at the end? Was it that he was?
I don't know.
I see. Okay, the grossness of all of it aside,
it seems like she's dead.
It does seem that way too. Well, that's Rivervale for you. Leave it, Jughead. The grossness of, like, the teacher thing aside, that was sort of like like, I don't know. It made it more interesting to me that I was like, wow, he so convincingly lied to her about that. Like,
yeah, I don't know. And then she bought him a different car. And
was the car haunted? Or I don't know. I kind of liked, like, I like this weird non-committal, and maybe it's because I know it's an AU. I guess I'm still unsure.
That is why I'm allowing stuff, is because I'm too certain that none of it's going to have stakes when season 6 proper begins. And if it does have stakes, then I'm going to be retroactively extremely pissed, because
there's just something about,
I don't like a lot of this as a long-term story.
I don't know. I mean, we're limping to the finish line as it is. So there is part of me that is sort of giddy at the notion of watching a, like, retro soap opera horror fantasy show.
Yeah. Also, this was... I would say this was a stronger, like, Treehouse of Horror than the one from season 5 that you never ended up watching. But I think on the whole, this was stronger. But I don't know. There was just, like, a lot of stuff that it's just, I still, even though I kind of enjoyed it, I still am sort of like, but why though?
Where are we? I genuinely don't know. Where are we with Darla Dickinson? Are we at sweet Lord, let Azura Sky rest? Or are we at, we've come back to this well so many times, we might as well trudge forward?
So, on a personal note, I love Azura Sky, and I have for forever, for as long as I've known who she was. She is
Buffy, American Horror Story, etc.
She is in two of my all-time favorite episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer from season 7. This feels like her agent is doing her dirty. This is not cool for me to see her doing this.
But you're not I'm at a point where I'm sort of like, I hate it so much that I'm like, if they just leaned in more,
sure,
I would just accept it.
If you could bring this to a
weird
place...
yokel kingpin that she...
Well, she's the only one left. All her kids are dead.
Sure.
But that's the thing, is if you could bring this around to a place that makes sense, then fine, I'll forgive it. But right now, I'm just like, you're tarnishing the good name of Azura Sky. I don't know. I guess I could be with you if they pull it out and do something.
It's like me with Penny Peabody. I hated her so much, and then I was like, I mean, at this point,
they may as well.
What am I gonna fight my captor?
Yeah.
I also my note just, Tony's a real nag. I thought it was so funny and or not Tony. I did mean Tony. I meant Tabitha. So Jughead and now Tabitha, for them to discover a hidden room that had a window in it. Yeah. How do you lose a room with a window?
Well, I mean, they just moved into this apartment. They don't own it or anything. So
is it in a courtyard they don't have access to?
It's probably to the outside.
Yeah. So walk around. You haven't walked around I don't know. It felt weird to me. So fine. I'll take that off the table. But I just sort of, in a general sense, of how do you lose a room that has, like, I can understand walling off a closet and not realizing it's there. But I was like, how do you lose a room that has a window to the outside?
Well, I don't know. The way, you remember that McMansion Tumblr that you followed so long ago where it was like, this is fucking stupid. That sometimes there are windows that don't actually, there are windows on the outside that don't go to anything on the inside. Also, I have no eye at all for like the physical space that I'm in. I would have no way of knowing if there were a hidden room right there.
I'm pretty...
Yeah. You're a man.
I'm pretty spatially aware.
Yeah. I would have no way of knowing. That's like,
North is that way.
That's like a huge plot in the movie Panic Room with Kristen Stewart and Jodie Foster. Is she's like, there's space. Jodie Foster's like, there's space missing, and they're like, good eye, it's the Panic Room. But I would have no way. There could be 3 hidden rooms in this room right now, and I would have no idea.
We're in one.
Yeah, no idea.
You best start believing in panic rooms, my lady. You're in one.
It was so good though.
This is okay, but here's the thing. This is so stupid. This episode is terrible, but I'm having fun.
Yes, this was fun.
And it's not for me, it's never really about, and certainly not at this point, about good or bad. It's about fun or not fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. I laughed in this one more than I groaned. And that feels like a triumph at this point.
And now I'm going back to being on Tabitha's side because Jughead was buying. No, he said he found him behind the white worm. I was going to be like, he was buying bottles of scotch.
He found the empties behind the white worm.
He did.
He bought full bottles of scotch.
A minimum of 6 bottles.
That he was going to dump down the drain. Scotch is fucking expensive. Even bad scotch is expensive.
Yeah, Tabitha's not sober.
Also, Tabitha's not rolling in money.
that as well, but no, I don't know.
I think that was mostly it. I mean, it was like not... It was not terrible. Again, I are we just gonna pick off one character a week until we're done?
I think so.
Okay.
Because we've tapped out Archie and Toni at this point. So, and then next week was, I've already forgotten the preview. Was it Betty?
After being visited by a mysterious figure who arrives in Riverdale, the gang find themselves faced with unexpected ultimatums. So I'm sure it'll be more than one of them. Again.
Oh yeah, the devil, and it wasn't Tom Ellis.
The fuck?
No, Tom Ellis is
Tom Ellis is Lucifer.
What was
the one from
It's Tom
Sabrina
as well, though, right?
I don't know.
I mean, we're not doing a Sabrina crossover or anything.
Luke Cook.
Luke Cook.
Yeah.
Tom, Luke.
Whatever.
Emmanuel. Okay, well, we will see you next week.
Yay! Bye.